Wayne, another veteran driver here at the Speedway. That car, of course, winning track championships last year in our sportsman class. Drifting very high in turn number 4. 1813, 1-8, Hadley Manufacturing. Jim and Rose Winters, Auto Body and Paint, Ball Brothers Chevrolet, all sponsoring Dan Kent in the 08 car. I see Dorla Van Epps has made it to the Speedway once again. Hello, Dorla. Dan Kent, an 1839, 1-8. Russ's Day and Night Markets and Willamette Wholesale sponsoring this Ford Torino. An 1881, 1-8, Harry Moore in a 34 Dodge. Sea Lion Caves, L&C Logging, the Muffler Center, Florence Auto Salvage, and there he goes, Harry Moore pulling into the pit area. Problems on the dog. A guy who drove probably the best race of his career last Saturday night, finishing second in our C main, and as soon as you say something like that, he spins out. That's Jim Moore out of Florence. Right on the front stretch. That's 62-year-old Lucky Moore. J Battery, Johnston Motor Company, Florence Carpet, Sundance Lube and Go, Saw Shop in Florence, Cannons Crew 89 in the Muffler Center. A 1955, 1951, 19.51 for Dan Hurd. Well, I believe Larry Follett back behind. A guy doing a good job of driving with this, used to the asphalt. From Eugene, that's Chris Colhane. It's a Ford Torino with a 351 Ford engine. Again, Chris Colhane, unsponsored, and running our feature main event most every Saturday night. 1955, 19 point. Dump and the Rebel Racing Association sponsoring that car. Out of Dallas in the 97 car, that's Charlie Anderson. In 1914, 19.14 for Jerry Anderson.
Yeah, we could do it tonight.
Okay.
It's not going to do us much good because we're only going to have 9. We're going to run in the heat and the meeting. Don't dare split up those 9 cars.
No.
Out of Scio, being sponsored by Performance Specialty, Fisher Shield Realty, and Zoom Motors. That's Johnny Schuler. You don't see that very often. Pushing high in the corner, that's Tony Silbernagel in the 57 car. 62 Nova, 4-wheel drive. 509 Chevrolet big block in that car. R&T Farms, the sponsor. $17.39, 1-7. Oh, Alan Hales?
Yeah,
I've got the info.
Hales tonight.
Okay, good enough.
Throw 14 battery on there, man.
Okay. The 11 car, John Simmons, out of Oregon City. Do Right Builders, American Fence in Portland, and ABC Glass. A 2005 20.0. Out of Vancouver, Washington, that's Eric Sayre. Vancouver Oil, Castrol Motor Oil, and Napa Auto Parts. 17-14, 1-7 point. Rebel Racing Association sponsoring the 00 car. He's still looking for more. It's a 79 Mustang 429 Ford engine. $19.24, 1-9. Green Hill Auto Wreckers, Eugene Muffler and Brake, and Custom Truck Painting sponsoring that vehicle. They've got the new paint job on it. It looks very nice. Greg Helgen qualifies at a 20-29-20. Lebanon Towing and K&K Auto Repair sponsoring this car. Our feature winner last Saturday night in the Sportsman Division, the Wagon Master Bob Kingsbury, with an 1870, 1-8 points. Very good job here at the Speedway out of Lebanon. That's Dan Kingsbury. Chevy Impala 383 Chevrolet engine, Lebanon Towing and K&K Auto Repair.
Do you know if Chris Hibble's going to be here tonight?
I don't know. I doubt it. 1984, 1-9 point. Way up high over in turns 1 and 2. Keeps his foot on it coming out of the second corner down the backstretch. Randy Wilson, an 1879, 18.79. Tom out of Jervis, driving a good-looking number 4 Outlaw. 1795. Darrell Anderson on the inside. We got a green flag. We're underway in racing. Mark Grill jumps out to the early lead in the 05 car. Steve Mueller, a rookie in the 84 car now, challenging Anderson on the outside. A good battle for second. Now Anderson ducks low, trying to get around Grill on the backstretch. Grill doing a good job of holding down that top spot. Here comes Anderson underneath. Anderson now trying to take over that top spot, and he does so. Darrell Anderson, your leader in the 15 car. Grill in second. Steve Mueller now on his bumper, trying to get around. Mueller charges hard into 3, drifts very high. Can he hold on in the 84 car? He doesn't lose a spot, but he loses valuable ground to Mark Grill. Now Grill jumps to the outside, trying to battle Darrell Anderson, going into 1 and 2. Grill losing control on the backstretch, handles the car very well, doesn't let it get away from him, but Mueller now trying to work the outside and take over that second spot, coming down to the start-finish line. Grill and Mueller side by side in a great battle for second. Mueller working the high groove, Grill on the low groove, side by side down the backstretch. Mueller drifts hard into 4, comes down on Grill and takes over the second spot. Mueller still going to work the outside groove, try to get around Darrell Anderson. White flag out this time around for your leader, Darrell Anderson in the 15 car. Mueller, one last charge over in turn 2. He can't find a bite up high. Steve Mason loses control in the 36 car. Checkered flag out this time around for your winner, Darrell Anderson. Steve Mueller takes second. Mark Grill third. And Walter Hales gets fourth. Green flag's out. We're underway in racing. Coolbaugh and Carroll side by side in 1 and 2. Jack Marentate and Keith McCurdy looking for a way around. Bubba Hoagland in the 39 car, a late entry in this race. Marin Tate using the third groove, very high in the 56 car. Good racing at the front of the pack. We've got 4 cars battling for that front spot. Paul Carroll, Bill Coolbaugh, Keith McCurdy, and Jack Marin Tate. Marin Tate, a rookie, using that outside groove. And he gets into McCurdy, and they go into the wall. On the front stretch, nowhere for Greg Helgen. A good job of driving by Greg Helgen in the 47 car as he escapes any serious damage. By, and we're not going to get the green flag, Greg. Sneaky little junior trying to pull a fast one on the rest of the guys. Pulling up in the 47 car, but he's back in his line. Jack Marin Tate being told by our flagman, Bill Arnold, to wait. As the green flag comes out this time around for your leader, Paul Carroll. Carroll in the lead, Coolbaugh second, Jim Moore third. Bubba Hoagland back in fourth. Now here comes Greg Helgen in the 47 car using the high line. Not content to play follow the leader. Here comes Jim Moore in the 32 car trying to get underneath Coolbaugh. He does so in turn 3. White flag out this time around for your leader, Paul Carroll. Bubba Hoagland follows Jim Moore through. Hoagland almost spins out in 2. Your leader, Paul Carroll, going to take the checkered flag and the victory. Jim Moore takes second, Bubba Hoagland third, and Greg Helgen fourth. Very slow pace. Flag is out. They're underway in racing. Bennett gets the jump on Todd Shandy as Dan Foster tries to get around. Now Shandy uses the low groove to take the lead back over in turn 2. Bennett seems to have more power on the straightaway. Shandy better in the corners. Gary Poole almost into Dan Foster, P1 and 04. Still a good race on the top spot as the better cornering Shandy takes it over in the corners, and Bennett on the straights. But here comes rookie Danny Kingsbury making it 3 deep over into turn 3. Danny Kingsbury 3 deep coming out of turn 4. Hang on to your hats. And Kingsbury's our new leader in the 49 car. Good piece of driving by Danny Kingsbury. Danny drifts high over in turn 2, but maintains the lead. Now Bennett trying to go underneath Shandy over in 3. Oh, gets into Shandy. They bounce out. Shandy nowhere to go as Bennett gets into him. Yellow flag out, and Jim Gray hits Shandy in the rear end. Jim Gray trying to pull off onto the backstretch, and he's going to do it right in front of our leaders. No, he's not. He's going to wait. Good move for Jim Gray as our leaders now cross through. Dan Kingsbury doing a good job keeping the 49 car low. 04, Dan Foster in second. Rob Bennett in third. Jim Gray back out in the 10 car. White flag out this time around for your leader, the rookie out of Lebanon, Danny Kingsbury. Somebody tell me the kind of motor Jim Gray has in that 10 car. It's a mystery motor in the 10 car. Your winner in the 49 car, Danny Kingsbury. Good job of driving. 04, Dan Foster, 20, Rob Bennett, and I still can't find the motor. Now we're underway in racing. Malinoff with a slow start. Chris Culhane tries to get through. It's not there. Into the wall he goes in the 59 car. Chris Colhane tried to make a daring move through the pack, and it just wasn't there. Green flag's out. We're underway and racing once again. Bruce Trengove, your early leader. Malinoff in the 16 car in second. Dan Hurd third. Here comes Ronnie Warner in the 22 car, going to the high side. Now Hurd tries to go high as well. Warner trying to find a good groove up top. Rickard now scoots under in the 85 car. 62 plus Lucky Moore. Warner's off the pace in 22. Your leader, Bruce Trengove. 16, Mark Malinoff. 51, Dan Hurd. Problems in the 22 car as Ronnie Warner into the pit area. Bruce Trengove doing a good job. Now Dan Hurd on the outside of Mark Malinoff. The challenge is for second. Hurd to the outside of Malinoff, going into turn numbers 1 and 2. Jack Rickard right there in the brand new 85 car. Still no paint on that vehicle. Rickard doing a good job. Tries to get underneath Malinoff. 3 deep could be. Malinoff spins it out. He gets back onto the track and heads toward the wall. No yellow flag as of yet. Waiting for Malinoff to start, and he does. No yellow flag. Malinoff heads to the infield. Bruce Trengove coming around. He is your leader. Malinoff in the way here. White flag out. 1 more lap to go. Your leader in 95, Bruce Trengove. Second is 51, Dan Hurd. Jack Rickard currently holding down the third spot. Checkered flag out for your winner, Bruce Trengove. Dan Hurd second. Rickard third. Bill Arnold's green flag, and there it is. We're underway in racing. Problems already in the Wayne Howe car as he loses a radiator, it looks like. Water all over the racetrack over in 1 and 2. That's going to provide a very slick groove down there. Yellow flag is out. Trying to get around Anderson. A good 3-way battle down there. Victor Ritchie looking underneath. Oh boy, racing already. Here comes Beaver on the outside of Anderson. Kronk nowhere to go. Your point leader, Victor Ritchie, gets underneath both of them. A good move by Victor Ritchie. Our flagman, Bill Arnold, looks at J.D. Beaver and warns him about the rough driving. Here comes Kronk now. Kronk on the inside of Victor Ritchie as Ritchie tries to go to the outside of your leader, Charlie Anderson, over in 3 and 4. Charlie Anderson, your leader. Victor Ritchie challenging on the outside, and he now leads. The current sportsman point leader, Victor Ritchie, doing a good job in the 193 car as he takes over the lead on the backstretch. David Kronk now trying to get around Charlie Anderson for that second spot. A good race here in the slow sportsman race. Nowhere to go for Mike Bird, but he does avoid Jerry Anderson. Anderson spins. Bird does a good job of avoiding him in the 74 car. Anderson underway. Kronk sliding hard into 3 and 4, doing a good job of driving. David Kronk trying to get around Charlie Anderson, and he does so. Good job of driving by David Kronk in the 29 car. Now on the hunt to try to find Victor Ritchie. Your current sportsman point leader taking the checkered flag for this heat victory, Victor Ritchie. David Kronk a good second. Charlie Anderson third, and J.D. Beaver fourth. Green flag's out. We're underway in racing. Outlaw X tries to get the advantage, and he's all over the place down there in the front stretch. Glenn Soto doing a good job on the outside. Soto takes over the early lead. Now Harold Cleaver working on Outlaw X on the backstretch. Your leader, Glenn Soto. Quint Belden second. Harold Cleaver third. Now Cleaver trying to get by Outlaw X. Outlaw X gets into him down on the front stretch. Good hard racing there for second. Cleaver now takes over second. Here comes Dave Kingsbury. Good job of driving in the 61 car. And there goes the door, and Harry Moore finds it. Captain America shedding his skin, and you get a good look at what it looks like to drive one of these race cars on the backstretch. Harold Cleaver. That's Willamette Speedway's own unique in-car camera. Take a good look at Harold Cleaver, the inside. Green flag's out. We're back underway in racing with Glenn Soto, your leader. Harold Cleaver second. Dave Kingsbury third. Kingsbury now trying to challenge Cleaver on the outside as Outlaw X moves to the outside and loses a spot to the wagon master, Bob Kingsbury. Good race for second as Cleaver and Dave Kingsbury battle side by side coming down the front stretch. Oh, Bob Kingsbury hard into the wall and nowhere to go. Quint Belden does a good job of getting out of the way. Hopefully Kingsbury goes. He does. No yellow flag. Still a good battle up front. 3 and 4. White flag out this time around. Kingsbury doing the job trying to get around Cleaver. He's got Glenn Soto in his sights with one more pass to go. He tries to dive low on Soto. Soto holding the groove, gets a little sideways, coming out of 4, but he's going to hold on for the win. Dave Kingsbury second, Cleaver third, Harry Moore fourth. Out of turn number 4, green flag's out. We're underway in racing. Southwick having problems in the 37 car. He's missing. Southwick takes the early lead. Sauce looking to get around on the outside. He does so. And look at Wayne Trengo. 3 deep does a good job. Bosshart trying to follow. Dick Bosshart in the 44 car trying to get around. Whoa, nothing there. Now Mike Wood trying to get inside of Carlson. Everybody everywhere in turns 1 and 2. Look at Dick Bosshart on the outside, still trying to get around Carlson and Gil Pickett now down low. A spin with Sauce and Trengove and everybody out of the way. We're underway in racing. Bosshart leaping out to the outside. He sees Williams there. He's going to duck back inside. Here comes Dick Bosshart in the 44 car. He challenges Williams and takes over the second spot. Now Bosshart looking to get around Southwick. He stays in the low groove. Wayne Trengove trying to move around Jiggly. There goes Bosshart. Bosshart, your new leader. Mike Wood now challenging Roger Williams for the third spot. Mike Wood in 55. Dick Bosshart, your leader in the 44 car. 54, Ron Southwick second. 55, Mike Wood in third. Now Southwick used to pit for Mike Wood. Very interesting here. Wayne Trengove now working on Roger Williams for that fourth spot. That's 26 and 35. Trengove diving low, trying to get around Williams. Here comes Mike Wood. Wood now trying to get around Southwick. Good hard racing down in turns 1 and 2. White flag out for your leader, Dick Bosshart, who has the field covered. Trengove now gets under Williams. He's going to take fourth spot. Mike Wood a little out of shape down there. Here comes Trengove. We could have a battle for third. Checkered flag out. Your winner, Dick Bosshart. Second's going to go to Southwick. Trengove and Mike Wood battle to the line, and Wood takes it in the 55 car. Anderson leads him down slow. There it is. Joe Anderson into the early lead. Murray Sim doing a good job to take over second. Sim has had some hard luck early this year. Mechanical problems ailing the 8 car, but now he looks like he's going to battle for the lead. He does. Murray Sim in the top spot. Joe Anderson in second. Dick Wright in third. Murray Sim taking care of his problems. He wants to thank everybody that's been helping him as he's started this mechanically plagued 1989 season. Now Anderson pushes hard in 2, allowing Dick Wright to get underneath him. Dick Wright doing a good job getting underneath Joe Anderson over there in turn number 2. Murray Sim, your leader. Dick Wright in second. Joe Anderson third, and Herb Thomas fourth. White flag out this time around for Murray Sim in the 8 car as he seems to be losing power. Oh, that's too bad. Murray Sim losing power in the 8 car allows Dick Wright to go by in 52. Here comes Herb Thomas in 75. 52, Dick Wright going to pick up the checkered flag. Herb Thomas second, Joe Anderson third. Out. Drager using the high side, Phillips down low. Here comes Ronnie Wilson in the W4 car. Brand new motor in the 12A car after they blew their motor last Saturday night, and he drifts very high over in turn number 4. Ronnie Wilson takes advantage and the lead. Your leader, Ronnie Wilson. Brian Drager in second. Phillips battling the DQ car over there in turn number 4. Randy Wilson in the Dairy Queen car looking for a way around Craig Phillips as they enter turn 3. Nose to tail coming down to the start-finish line. Drager now moving to the outside to see if he can get around our leader, Ronnie Wilson. Here comes Randy Wilson in the DQ car. He's trying to nose ahead of Craig Phillips. He does so. Randy Wilson now in third. Drager still working very hard to try to get around Ronnie Wilson. A good battle for the top spot. Drager loses a little on the backstretch. Here comes Randy Wilson. White flag out this time around. One more lap to go. Drager still trying to work on Ronnie Wilson. Here comes Randy Wilson underneath. Your winner, Ronnie Wilson. Brian Drager second. Randy Wilson third. And Craig Phillips fourth. Green flags out. We're underway in racing. The Nova immediately to the front, the four-wheel drive car. That car, of course, powered by a 510 cubic inch Chevrolet. But here comes the Shaw car and Eric Sayre right on their back. Good battle up front. Silbernagel in the front. Robert Tesch in second. Eric Sayre in third. Robert Tesch looking for a way around Silbernagel. He's going to go to the outside down the backstretch. Side-by-side racing. Robert Tesch puts the Shaw car right next to Silbernagel as they come off at turn number 4. A good job of driving by Robert Tesch as he now takes over the lead in the statewide roofing Shaw car, number 96. Eric Sayre now has the task of getting around the four-wheel drive. Sayre works him inside. He is probably going to have to go to the high groove if he's going to get around Tony Silbernagel. And Sayre nearly loses it. Here comes Bob Boyd in the 97 car. Terry Bentley hard into 3 and 4. Your leader and stretching it out, 96, Robert Tesch, doing a great job. Tony Silbernagel in second, Eric Sayre in third, Bob Boyd in fourth. The trick is to get around Tony as fast as you can and then let him hold up the rest of the traffic. Robert Tesch has done that to perfection in this our 10th heat race of the night. Now Sayre going to go out to the outside groove and try to get around Silbernagel. White flag out this time around. One more lap to go. Test your leader, Sayre, battling hard with Silbernagel as they come down the front stretch. Eric Sayre doing a good job. The youngster out of Vancouver, Washington, now side by side with Silbernagel as they race down the backstretch. The battle is for second. Sayre charges into turn 3. He's going to come down the front stretch, but Silbernagel pulls him in the 5-10 and takes over second. Looking for a green. We're underway in racing. Carl Parks trying to drag Kenny Wheaton down the front stretch, sticks the bullet in the outside groove and finds a bite down the backstretch. Carl Parks, winner of our fast heat race last week, but he goes out. Look at Wagner on the outside groove. Wagner trying to find bite in the 7R car, the Iceman, nothing there. Here comes Kenny Wheaton into the lead in the Highwaller car. 3 deep down the backstretch. Jeffrey on the outside. Look at Russell down low. Russell in the Russ's Day and Night Special. Wheaton your leader. Carl Parks in second. Russell in third. Jeffrey Schuler and the Iceman. Kenny Wheaton still your leader. Parks in second. The Highwaller car stretching the lead out. Good job of driving by Kenny Wheaton. Parks slides in with the bullet. Now Wagner bounces to the outside. Nothing up there. Bob Jeffrey tries to go low. Wagner on the outside trying to get around Schuler in the battle for fourth. Oh, Carl Parks in too hard. And oh, he's going to be high-centered, and Wagner and Schuler. A good battle for third. Wheaton leading him down very slowly. Look at the guys. They're trying to get the jump, waiting for that green. We're going to get it. Green flag's out. Wagner trying to use that outside groove. Katie Wheaton doing a good job. Here comes Wagner now to the outside of Johnny Schuler. Russell right on the back end of the Highwaller Special. Sell now trying to dive low. Russell looking for a way around Kenny Wheaton. A good battle up front. White flag out this time around. One more lap to go. Russell looking to get around Kenny Wheaton. Wheaton doing a great job of holding down the top spot. Sell now going to try the outside groove. He finds nothing but marbles up there. Now he's going to dive low. He's going to get right on his tail as they come around for the checkered. Kenny Wheaton the winner. Russell second. The Iceman third. Feature main event. It should be a dandy. We're going to take a little time, water the racetrack. Good time to go down and get your Rusty Wallace t-shirt, the featured driver of the night. Rusty Wallace in the Kodiak Pontiac. Also, good time to get your 50-50 tickets. Remember, 50-50. Oh, you got it, okay.
9:25. Only go to 9:40.
Okay, Bill Arnold gives him the green flag. We're underway in racing. Mike Emerson, your early leader. Steve Mason behind him. Here comes Bubba Oakland in the 39 car. Paul Carroll stuck outside as Mueller goes in, and Carroll over the bank. Paul Carroll nowhere to go, and he ends up over, and look at Jim Moore, 360. Looking for a green as they come out at turn number 4, and there it is. Underway in racing, 15 laps C-Main for the Sportsman Division. Bubba Hoagland, definitely a strong car in 39, trying to get around Mason. Mason, it's very slick at the top as Jack Marentate finds out in the 56 car. Here comes Mueller and Grill going by the 69 car. Paul Carroll with problems in 69. Bubba Hoagland running side by side with Steve Emerson down the front stretch. One lap complete. Sportsman C Main. Emerson doing a good job of trying to hold off Hoagland. Stephen Mason a little high in 36. Cars starting to stretch themselves out a little bit. Emerson, the rookie, followed by Hoagland and another rookie, Steve Mueller. Bill Coolbaugh in fourth. Gary Ray, your fast qualifier, has moved up into fifth position. Mark Grill now sliding high, allowing Jim Moore to get underneath, and here comes Greg Helgen in the 47 car. Your leader, Mike Emerson. Bubba Hoagland in second. Right now, Coolbaugh and Mueller, a good battle back there for third. 12 and 84 down the backstretch. Mason very high in turn two, but he stays on the speedway. Coolbaugh and Mueller, a good battle for third. Mueller drifting high and over the bank he goes. Very softly, he may be able to return to the speedway. Let's see if Steve Mueller is moving down there. Yellow flag out on your leader, Mike Emerson. Bubba Hoagland in. Our leader timed in at 22:12. We will put him on the clocks. Emerson battling with Hoagland. Coolbaugh now. Coolbaugh trying to make a move on Hoagland. Problems in the 36 car. Steve Mason losing water. Mason losing water in the 36 car. Good battle up front. Green flag out. We're underway in racing once again. Watch Greg Helgen in the 47 car. Greg Helgen starting to move in the 47 car. A potential battle coming up for second. Coolbaugh now trying to get around Hoagland on the outside. Your leader will be on the clocks this time around. Coolbaugh and Hoagland, a good battle back there for second. Remember, Mike Emerson now on the clocks, 22:12, 0.08 seconds or over, and he will be disqualified. On the clocks currently, your leader, Mike Emerson, but Coolbaugh is going to challenge him. Coolbaugh challenging Emerson. Emerson clocks in at 20:94, 2 seconds over his time. Of course, and he's going to take out Bill Coolbaugh, allowing Bubba Hoagland to take the lead. Emerson and Coolbaugh both having problems, and here comes Bubba Hoagland. Green flag is out. We're underway in racing. .42 flat tire, the mechanical black flag for Mr. Ray. Look at Jim Moore rushing through to get by the 69 car. Your leader, Bill Coolbaugh, now on the clocks. 39, Bubba Hoagland in second. 47, Greg Helgen doing a good job, working his way up to third. Not yet, not yet. This is his clocking lap right here. Bill Coolbaugh. 20:40 was his qualifying time. He's well in shape with a 21 flat. So Bill Coolbaugh running within his allotted time. Problems on the backstretch as Mueller and Jim Moore tangle. Cars everywhere as the yellow flag comes out. Greg Helgen now moves into second. He's going to have to hold off Greg Helgen and Bubba Hoagland. Here comes Greg Helgen immediately. Helgen going to challenge on the outside. Hoagland also looking to get outside. It's going to be a great finish. Here comes Greg Helgen. He's going to take the lead in the C main event. Coming from the back of the pack. He drifts high in 4, but it looks like he's going to nail it down. Junior Helgen out of Junction City doing a great job up front in the 47 car. He lulled them to sleep. Checkered flag out for Greg Helgen in 47. Bill Coolbaugh takes second. Bubba Hoagland third. To start, he will go to the back of the A main. Bob Jeffrey in the 98 car. A late entry into our Sportsman B main. Not exactly. Bob trying to work some bugs out of the 98 car for our big 40-lap feature main event later tonight. That's the new Rayburn. That's the leaf spring Rayburn. A little different than the cantilever design. Looks like we're just about ready to get underway with our B main event, and we are underway and racing. Foster takes the early lead over Bennett, but here comes Danny Kingsbury. Dan Foster, your early leader in 04. Rob Bennett in second. Danny Kingsbury third. Jim Gray in fourth, battling hard with Bruce Trengove. Good battle right now for the fourth position as Jim Gray and Bruce Trengove battle it out. Dean Dibble trying to work on Mark Malinoff, 16 and 02. Dan Foster, your early leader. Bennett in second. Kingsbury third. Gray. Bob Jeffrey now trying to make a move into the pit area as they give him the black. Foster, your leader. Dibble still working hard on Malinoff back here in the pack. Your sixth spot. Good duel for your sixth spot. Dean Dibble trying to run the high line. Lucky Moore back there with Dan Hurd as well. P1, Gary Poole now pulling onto the raceway. Bruce Trengove now trying to get underneath Danny Kingsbury, and he's going to do it. Out of Vancouver, Washington, Bruce Trengove. Rob Bennett slowing with the 20 car. Trengove and Kingsbury trying to get around. Dan Hurd now starting to move in the 51 car. Here comes 22, Ron Warner, trying to pass Dean Dibble. P1, Gary Poole into the pit area. Foster still your leader. Bennett, Trengove, and Kingsbury. Here comes Trengove now to the outside of Bennett as they go into 3 and 4. That's the battle for second. Very high, Dan Hurd now comes back down in line with Ronnie Warner. Malinoff trying to get around. That's the battle back in the pack. Good race. Foster, here comes Trengove battling with Bennett. The battle for second. 5, 6, 7th, and 8th place cars, all with a good race going on. Foster, your leader. Trengove, Bennett, and Kingsbury. Here's your leader, Foster. Here comes Trengove. Now Bennett and Kingsbury dueling for third. Ronnie Warner and Dan Hurd battling for fifth. Warner trying to go to the outside in the 22 car. 22 and 51, a great battle back there.
22 is a pretty little car.
Kingsbury nearly loses it in the 49 car. He's running fourth. Now Warner very high. Your leader passing the start-finish line, Foster, Trengove there, Bennett, Kingsbury, and Hurd. "14 laps down on your leader, Dan Foster. 14 down in your 20-lap B main event." Trengove, watch Bruce Trengove out of Vancouver, Washington, as he's moving in on Foster coming into lap traffic. The battle for the lead could start to heat up. 04 Foster, here comes Trengove down low. Also Ronnie Warner and Kingsbury battling. That's the fifth spot. Foster now coming on Jim Gray. Trengove looking for a way around. There's Dibble. Ooh, we have lapped cars. Going to play a big role in the B main. Now Trengove, ooh, he wanted to go low. You could see it. He still wants to go low. He's trying to get underneath Foster on the backstretch. Now Todd Shandy there, and there goes Trengove making his move. Foster trying to stay the low groove. 3 deep down the front stretch. A great battle by Trengove. Bruce Trengove now trying to take the lead from Dan Foster in turn 2. There he is with one more lap to go. Your leader out of Vancouver, Washington, Bruce Trengove. Still a great battle between Danny Kingsbury and Ron Warner. Here it is, checkered flag. Good job of driving. Bruce Trengove picks up the victory. Foster second. I believe Bennett third, Hurd fourth. Ron Warner, good run for fifth. 61 Dave Kingsbury in 08. Dan Kent, Jack Rickard also tailing in the 85 car. Your early leader, David Kronk, in 29. The track in very, very good shape as the drivers take the green flag for our A feature main event in the sportsman division. Your point leader, Victor Ritchie, trying to make a move in the 193 car. J.D. Beaver sideways on the backstretch. Kingsbury very high in 61. David Kronk, your early leader. Charlie Anderson second. Here comes Victor Ritchie. Watch Glenn Soto. Glenn Soto and Jerry Anderson getting by Mike Bird. Mike Bird in the low groove. We got 3 deep coming up down the backstretch. Look at that mess of cars. Harry Moore hung out to dry out there. Anderson shifts over. Mike Bird trying to hold off Harold Cleaver and Dave Kingsbury. Your leader, David Kronk. Birthday boy, Jerry Anderson pulling in. Charlie Anderson trying to hold down second, but Victor Ritchie on the hunt in the 193 car. Glenn Soto battling J.D. Beaver, but there goes Victor Ritchie. Victor Ritchie has moved into second, but drifts high, allowing Charlie Anderson. No, he doesn't. Victor Ritchie now in second. Z-car, Quint Belden, the outlaw, spins and spins again, but keeps it going. And he's going to be okay. In front of David Kronk, Victor Ritchie. There goes Glenn Soto. Debris. He's right on David Kronk. And the green flag's out. We're underway in racing once again. Watch Dan Kent in the 08 car. Dan Kent on the move. As is Glenn Soto. Glenn Soto in the 6 car out of Tangent. Trying to move around Charlie Anderson down here in turn 4. Dan Kent now moving by Anderson to take over that 4 spot. He dives low to try to get underneath Glenn Soto, positioning himself out of turn number 4. Look at Victor Ritchie as he takes the lead. Victor Ritchie battling with David Kronk down in turn number 2.
$5 here last Saturday, 135.
Kronk and Ritchie, a good race for the top spot. Both sliding out of turn number 4. Some of the faster cars beginning to make their move now. Dan Kent, Glenn Soto, and Dave Kingsbury. Kent and Soto, a good battle. Kronk out of shape in 4. Glenn Soto trying to get around Kronk into 2nd spot. Here comes Dave Kingsbury in the 61 car. Good 4-car battle up the front. Kronk drives out with Kingsbury, and that allows Glenn Soto into 2nd. Our flagman warning Mr. Kronk as Dan Kent gets into him. Things getting hot and heavy in our Sportsman feature main event. Victor Ritchie, your leader. Glenn Soto in 2nd. Kronk in 3rd. Kent and Kingsbury. Kent now trying to get around Kronk. Kingsbury also looking for a hole. Battle for 3rd. Kronk nowhere to go. It's going to be a sandwich time. Watch out in the pits. Great job of driving by Dave Kingsbury as he holds on. Victor Ritchie, your current points leader, doing the numbers, still leading this race. Ritchie turning sideways over there in turn number 4. Here comes Dan Kent trying to battle with Glenn Soto. That's been a good battle all night long. 2 very, very good drivers, Glenn Soto and Dan Kent. Kingsbury now back in the hunt, trying to get by Kronk. He's going to work him on the outside now. Good job of driving by Dave Kingsbury. He leads Kronk hard into 2, and Kronk can't hold on. Kingsbury goes around on the outside. Mike Bird getting the move-over flag as your leaders come by. Victor Ritchie, Glenn Soto, and Dan Kent. Bird will hold his line. Ritchie gets out of shape. Here comes Soto and Kent. And lap traffic's going to play a very big role in this race. Bird doing a good job holding his line. Ritchie gets by. Dan Kent nowhere to go, and Kingsbury takes advantage of that. Very good Sportsman feature main. Look at Kingsbury, there's nowhere to go. Mike Bird nowhere to go. Not a bad one, and Dan Kent will take in 2nd.
Better put Solo right back into play.
Kingsbury in too hard. Takes out Glenn Soto. Victor Ritchie, Glenn Soto, and Dan Kent. Dave Kingsbury going to have to charge through the pack in the 61 car.
I see what he's got. He's got that thing painted white on one side and blue on the other.
J.D. Beaver spinning out, but getting his car back moving over in turn number 2 as the leaders come around. This could be another problem for our leaders. Here comes Dan Kent side by side with Glenn Soto. These two have been at it all night long. Both coming on to Victor Ritchie. Not many laps remaining in this event. 22 laps down. What a race. Ritchie now goes high. Here comes Kent, but Beaver's there. Here comes Dan Kent on the inside. And Ritchie still battling hard. Glenn Soto on the outside, and he goes high. And there he is. Dan Kent, your new leader. Dan Kent has worked long and hard during this 25-lap event. Ritchie in second. Soto now back in fourth, battling with Kronk. One more lap to go. Dan Kent doing a yeoman's effort tonight at Willamette Speedway. Still action all over the racetrack, battling for position as Kronk and Soto coming into 3. But here it is, your winner, Dan Kent, doing a good job. Victor Ritchie in second, Glenn Soto in third.
Good race.
Your early leader, Warren Jegley, 37, Ron Carlson. 26, Roger Williams. 55, Mike Wood. Good battle up front. A lot of our outlaw super stocks trying to warm up. Mike Wood now diving low on Roger Williams. Mike Wood diving low on Roger Williams. Black flag out for our outlaws. Your leader still Warren Jegley. Wood nowhere to go. 26, Roger Williams doing a number. Good racing in our super sport main event. Roger Williams, 58, Warren Jegley. Here comes Mike Wood. Mike Wood currently running second in points. He's your statewide roofing machine. Dick Bosshart in the 44 car now making his move very patiently. Dick Bosshart now gets around Mike Wood when he makes a mistake over in 3. Carlson and Trengove. Now Trengove in the 35 car has a slipping clutch. Problems with that car, and it's still running fairly well. Roger Williams holding down the top spot, but here comes Dick Bosshart. Major pile up over in turn number 4. Roger Williams taking some damage there. Leaders coming by. Trengove stuck in the road. Watch out. Race back to the yellow. We're raced back to the yellow. Your leader, Dick Bosshart. Charge already. We're still under yellow, fellas. Still under yellow flag conditions. We've got cars trying to make their move when we are not racing yet. Rod. Green flag's out. We're underway and racing once again. Bosshart, Williams, Wood, Warren Jegley running 4th now. He's going to have a battle on his hands with Gil Pickett. Bosshart running his traditional high line in the 44 car. Williams in 2nd. Wood in 3rd. Ron Southwick in the 54 car trying to move by the 82 car of Gil Pickett. That's the battle for fifth. Southwick using that high groove. Pickett's behind Jegley. Nowhere to go for Pickett. Southwick might be able to pick up two spots going into turn number 3. He's going to give it a shot. Jegley shifts high. That opens the door for Gil Pickett. And Pickett takes advantage. Now Jegley working the outside. Southwick is stuck. Pickett and Jegley side by side. Good race. Good race for 4th position. Larry Sauce hard into turn 1 in the 01 car. Loses control but doesn't lose it. Bosshart, Williams, and Wood. "13 laps down," our feature main event for the Super Sport cars. 14 laps down as Bosshart is your leader. Now the battle is for second as Mike Wood tries to get around Roger Williams. A cat and mouse game being played between our 2nd and 3rd place cars. Williams very high out of 4, but he holds on. Mike Wood struggling to get around Roger Williams. Still a good battle back in 5th. Warren Jegley and Ron Southwick now running side by side. Larry Sauce waiting for a mistake by either of those two drivers. Southwick now edges up onto Jegley. The track now getting the blue groove that becomes so predominant here at Willamette Speedway. Southwick and Jegley, good race going on. "20 laps down on your leader, Dick Bosshart, who's got the field covered tonight. The best race on the speedway right now, Southwick and Jegley side by side in turn 2. Mike Wood still giving a hunt to Roger Williams. Here comes Mike Wood in the 55 car now, battling 26. Wood trying to take advantage down low. He does so. Now Mike Wood in 2nd place. Southwick drifting very high. Warren Jegley maintaining his spot. Your leader, Dick Bosshart, 23 laps down. Yellow flag out as Southwick and Jegley tangle. Warren Jegley, cosmetic damage to the 58 car. He's still running. Green flag out one more time. Bosshart now pulling away from Mike Wood as the white flag is coming out. Good battle for third. Here comes Gil Pickett alongside Roger Williams as they race to the checkered flag. Gil Pickett holding that low groove. It looks like he'll pick up third. Bosshart, Wood, and Pickett.
Charlotte Ray from Wilsonville.
And the winner, Charlotte Ray of Wilsonville. $138.50 as we get underway with our B main. A ragged start as Joe Anderson takes the lead. Here comes Murray Sim in the 8 car. Murray Sim, your leader. Joe Anderson second. John Simmons third. Clay Kreuzinger fourth. Murray Sim doing a good job holding down that top spot. 25 lap outlaw super stock main event. Kreuzinger and Herb Thomas get involved. Everybody gets out of shape. Murray Sim, your leader. Joe Anderson second. Herb Thomas now in third. The Wilson brothers running fourth and fifth. Ronnie Wilson, Randy Wilson, both moving to the high side. Craig Phillips following him. That's W4, DQ in 39. Brian Dreger right there in the 12A car. Joe Anderson drifts very high, cutting off Ronnie Wilson. Right now, everybody looking to catch Murray Sim. Nowhere to go for Joe Anderson as he's out of shape. Craig Phillips to the high side. Now Anderson seems to push in the second corner. Phillips, good job. Anderson doesn't push, but he has a hard time. Here comes Brian Dreger trying to get around him. Your leader, Murray Sim, the Wilson brothers, Ronnie and Randy right behind. Craig Phillips and Brian Dreger. Here comes the Dairy Queen car. Underneath, Ronnie Wilson in the W4 car. Two brothers battling side by side for that second spot. And there goes Ronnie Wilson. Ronnie Wilson now getting by Murray Sim in the 8 car. Ronnie Wilson, your leader. Murray Sim in second. Randy Wilson third. Craig Phillips, Brian Drago rounding out the top 5. Now your leader coming on slower traffic. Twelve laps down this time around for your leader, Ronnie Wilson. Randy Wilson running second. Craig Phillips now working the outside of Murray Sim. Drager stuck behind Simmons as we go into turn 2. Nowhere for him to go. Tom Tesh trying to take advantage. Not enough time. Tesh now using the low groove trying to get around Drager. Your leader, Ronnie Wilson, encountering slower traffic. Phillips and Sim, Drager and Tesh. There goes Craig Phillips as he moves into third. Ronnie Wilson sandwiched between two slower cars. His brother Randy now making his move. Joe Anderson, Clay Krutzinger holding them up. Here comes Randy Wilson. Ronnie Wilson now gets by. Good job of driving by Ronnie Wilson. The 11 car, John Simmons, problems with it, smoking profusely. Possible fire in the 11 car, a bad radiator. And racing once again. Randy Wilson quickly disposes of Joe Anderson. The Wilson brothers now running 1-2. Here comes Craig Phillips, low underneath Joe Anderson. "19 laps down this time around. Ronnie and Randy Wilson. Craig Phillips, Tom Tesh. Brian Drager now trying to get by Murray Sim as they battle with Anderson and Krutzinger, a pair of lapped cars. That allows Herb Thomas underneath Brian Drager. Drager trying to put his nose in 3 deep back there. Drager gets through. Now Drager's going to have to go 3 deep with Joe Anderson. Not a lot of room, but he gets through. Ronnie Wilson coming around. Tom Tesh now running third. "23 laps down this time around for your leader, Ronnie Wilson. Spin out, Terry Thies spins out over in turn number 2. Your leader, Ronnie Wilson, flagged. This will set up. Looking for a green this time out. We got it. Green flag and we're underway. Randy Wilson has a couple laps to get him. Two Wilsons up front. Here comes Randy. Randy trying to make his move on Ronnie. He does it. They both get into each other. Both of the Wilsons into each other with one more lap to go. Tom Tesh now trying to dive low on Randy. Ronnie doing a good job of holding the lead. Tom Tesh trying to get second, but there it is, your winner, Ronnie Wilson. Randy Wilson second. Tesh, Phillips, and Drager. The official finish, Ronnie Wilson, Randy Wilson, Tom Tesh. Hold him down, and here we go. That big 510 cubic inch motor roars to life as he gets into the front. Tony Silbernagel, but here comes Robert Tesh. Robert Tesh disposed of Silbernagel very quickly in the slow heat. Silbernagel, your leader. There goes Carl Parks getting around Lawver, but not much up there to grab onto, allowing Bob Boyd to go into fourth. Here comes Parks. Parks drifts very high. Bentley trying to take advantage of that, and he does. Terry Bentley now moving into the 5th spot. Tom Wagner in the 7R car trying to move around Johnny Schuler into 7th. Good battle back there. Eric Sayre now moving in with Tom Tesh. Eric Sayre in 2nd spot. Rob Lauber spinning over in turn 2. He has it all corrected. Here comes Wagner trying to get underneath Bentley. Wagner, a good move. We have problem downstairs. Stop the race. We need a yellow flag. Bill Arnold, we need a yellow flag, Bill Arnold. Problems in the stands. Bill Arnold, a yellow flag. We have problems in the stands.